What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Doc Comics. Jackson here with another video covering the Absolute Universe. Today is November 13th, so we're taking a look at Absolute Batman number 2 that just dropped today. This issue gives us a little more insight into this new world and has a few more surprises in store, so be sure to stick around until the end for a look at one of this Batman's new toys. Now, before we get into the comic, if you've not already, then please give the subscribe button a click and tap the bell to turn on notifications. Now, let's get to it. As with issue 1, we open with a very brief one-page flashback to Bruce seemingly being attacked by bats on the day his father was murdered. Then it drops us right into a pretty long narration from Alfred. Over the next few weeks, the party animals escalate their offensive on Gotham, and in return, Batman escalates his offensive on them. He isn't everywhere, but he seems to know where their biggest attacks will be, and he meets them head on, like tonight at the aquarium. And for my part, I've tried to help him, added surveillance protections, because the more he disrupts, the more Sionis steps up the battle, the more data I collect, which gets me that much closer to leaving Gotham. Lately, Sionis has brought in more of them, his party animals, enough to take on a small militia. When I was in Special Forces, my commanders always said what makes a great leader is knowing when to advance forward and when to retreat and regroup. Campaigns are long, one AF being advanced forward, one RR being retreat and regroup. Every battle, I think this is where he'll realize it's time to retreat and regroup, and yet, he plans everything, uses everything. A fighter who knows the terrain takes advantage, like when he employs a chemically concentrated version of vinegar to turn the salt water into hydrochloric acid. He has stash houses all over the city, not one, but many. Caves. I haven't been able to pinpoint more than a few, but from his movements, I've plotted a line on which the others might be located, and if anything, he's certainly committed to the bit. When he's not the Bat, his routine is monastically tight. He goes to work, then vanishes into the shadows. There's a rumor he meets with the Red Hood, a suspected resistance group, but the truth is, he's a man alone. He even steers clear of his mother these days. He breaks from routine only once during these weeks, to make a stop that catches me off guard. To visit Joseph Chill, his father's killer. What he says to Chill, I don't know. I only have visual, no audio, but I can imagine, and I only like him more for it. Another week in, my handler tells me I have to drop protections from Batman. They say he's become too volatile a factor. I consider pushing back, telling him that Batman has helped my mission, that in fact, his provocations have helped me form a new theory on who Sionis is, what he's a part of. I think about making my case. Instead, I remove the protections. Soon after, the party animals find his caves in the empty high-rises, as I did. I try to picture Bruce up there at the moment he finally understands, when he sees and gets the message, retreat and regroup, Batman, R and R. But that moment doesn't come, and it hits me then. Maybe that's what he is. All he is. One long advance forward. Batman AF. Alright, well that was a lot to take in.
That's what she said.
But Alfred has a pretty good bead on who Bruce is in this universe, so it's going to be interesting to see where their story goes from here. Okay, so now we jump to Mayor Gordon in the hospital getting a visit from Babs and Bullock. Bullock tells them that he called in more backup to help hunt down Batman, but Babs quickly reminds him that Batman saved the lives of everyone in that room. Before the arguing can escalate, they are interrupted by Martha Wayne and a phone call alerting Bullock to party animal activity at the Port Authority. Babs and Bullock head out to the scene, leaving Martha alone with Jim. Martha cracks a window and lights a cigarette, taking a drag before passing it to Jim. They reminisce a little about the Gotham they knew in their younger years and about missing Thomas. Martha suggests that Thomas would have liked Batman. Gordon then shares a memory of the day Thomas was killed and how he found Bruce on the floor covered with bats. Martha shares a memory of her own of Bruce isolating himself after. We then see Bruce sitting on his bed, staring at the medal he won for his engineering project, the same project that won his class the trip to the zoo where his father was murdered. Martha's trying to convince him to go outside with his friends, but he refuses, yelling at his mother to leave him alone, then throwing the medal out the window in anger. This Bruce is extremely broody and reminds me a lot of the young version of Bruce we got in the Gotham television series. Now we pick up with older Bruce at the poker game Waylon mentioned in issue 1. We see Harvey, Ozzy, and Eddie already at the table with Waylon when Bruce arrives. They joke about the ante and Bruce not being able to afford it before their focus briefly shifts to the empty chair. Eddie asks if anyone has heard from her, and Waylon says that he got a postcard from her a couple of months back that was from Cairo. In this case, we know that the her in question is Selina. Their attention is brought back to the cards, and Harvey asks Bruce to show his hand, but instead, Bruce pulls out the monkey skull he recovered from the party animals. At first, the others don't realize that it's not real until Eddie points out the microchips on the outside, saying that it looks like a geographical information system used to share target locations. As they play, Bruce continues to gather any information he can from the others about the party animals, discussing their motivations, be it political or financial. The hand finally comes down to Bruce and Harvey. Harvey tosses down his cards to show 2 pair. Bruce responds by showing his hand of 3 aces, and says 4 if we're counting jokers. We then jump to Batman, sneaking into Hill's campaign headquarters as the conversation between Bruce and Harvey carries on over narration. Harvey tells him that former Mayor Hill has been taking in a lot of capital, but no one knows where it's coming from. In the campaign's main office, Batman finds a laptop with a directory called Gotham. Inside that directory is another directory named Arc-M. When Batman tries to open it, a message from the party animal's leader pops up on the wall of screens in front of him. He offers Batman a deal if he can escape, but the building is now surrounded by GCPD and the party animals. Just before the party animals can rush in and attack, Batman leaps down the elevator shaft, landing on the ground below, where he drops into a hatch, but he gets an unexpected surprise. Waiting for him is Alfred, who convinces Batman to let him explain how they can help each other. Alfred suggests that they get somewhere safe first, and that he has a car waiting out back unless Batman has one of his own, to which Batman replies, "You're standing in it." Batman presses the gas pedal, and suddenly they go barreling through the wall in one of this version's toys that gives me a very serious Devastator vibe for some reason. Now, the final page, we get a quick peek back into young Bruce's life. He's sitting on his bed brooding when a voice comes in from the window asking if he lost something. He looks up to see Selina there in her hood with the cat ears, wearing the medal he threw out, and she tells him to get up and come with her. Alright, that's it for issue 2. Just like issue 1, there was a lot of surprises. I'm really loving where these absolute issues are going. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought about this issue or any of the other absolute issues. Also, while you're at it, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to Comics, and share this video with your friends. Until next time, stay heroic.